on this test, they really only want you to know basically three things about circles. So the first is that the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. And the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Now, the area of a circle, that's basically all this inside area, right? It's basically what makes up the inside. The circumference, on the other hand, is just the outside, right? It's basically the perimeter of a circle, okay? So, if you look at these two equations, the only variable that you need is basically the radius, okay? This r is the radius. So basically, if you know the radius of a circle, you basically know everything about it. You know the area and you know the circumference. So let's say they tell you in your problem that the area of the circle is 25 pi. Well, now you know that the area of the circle is 25 pi, but you also know that the equation that gives you that is pi r squared. So you can set those two things equal to each other. You can do 25 pi equals pi r squared, right? The nice thing is that the pi's cancel on both sides. So you get r squared equals 25. So r is 5, right? Same thing with the circumference, right? If they give you a value for the circumference, you can set it equal to 2 pi r and solve for the radius, all right? Most of the times on SAT problems, finding the radius is the key, right? Because as soon as you find that, you know the area and you know the circumference. Now, for some harder problems, you will try, but you won't be able to figure out the radius. And the reason is they're probably wanting you to use the proportionality of circles. Now, that's just a big way of saying that if they tell you that a pi slice out of a circle is 30% of the entire slice, of the entire circle, right? Well, now everything about that pi slice is 30%. So for example, this angle here is 30% of the entire angle of the circle. The arc length here is 30% of the entire arc length, otherwise known as the circumference, right? The area of this pi slice is 30% of the entire area. So basically everything about this pie slice is 30%. So let's say they give you a circle, okay, and they give you a pie slice cut out of it, okay, and they tell you that the angle here is 20 degrees, all right, and they give you that this arc length from here to here is 10. And they're asking, what is the circumference? Well, what you can do, right, you know that this pie slice is 20 degrees, right, out of a total possible of 360 degrees, right? So I want to know just exactly what part of the entire whole is that. So if I put 20 out of 360, that actually is 1/18th, right? Reduces to 1/18th of the entire circle. So if I think about this, what does that mean? That means that this slice is one slice out of a total of 18 slices that are just like it, right? So if I have 18 of these slices and the arc length of one of them is 10, what is the entire arc length all the way around? Well, basically I have 18 of these 10s, right? So I can do 18 times 10, and the circumference will be 180. Okay? So this is just an example to show you. If they don't give you the radius and they're asking for circumference, you might want to think about using the fact that this slice is a particular part out of a whole out of the entire circle, right? So if you can find what part it is, right, so 1/18th or 30% or whatever it is, a decimal, you can figure out what the other parts are, right? Because those are also 1/18 of the entire circle.